Hi everyone, this is Kelly with Kelly Ann Stamps, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And this is my third card for the month of June. Again, we're working with that Unbounded Beauty suite. Today we're primarily working with the DSP that's in there, and it's on page 55 of your catalog, the annual catalog, and we're working with some of this paper and some other sprigs and stuff. Now, this part here that is in this card comes out of the Lavender suite, and it's a die that's with the perennial lavender, and it's called Painted Lavender. My goodness. So it's a die out of the Painted Lavender, but it looked really good, so I used this die out of it. And that's the Painted Lavender set, just to get the die out of here. So that's the only thing that is not part of this suite, and then I use the Deckled dies to create my circles. So this is kind of called a floating circle card for this part right here. The one you are making, this circle will be much larger, and it will be a lot of fun. But the first part of this card you should have in your kit is you should have an envelope. It will not be marked with a K, so let me take the K out of there. I really should remember to do that before I start the video. But you guys get to see me erase all the time. You're going to have a Berry Burst card base that is 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. You're going to have 2 sprigs, and these sprigs have got sticky back on them, I believe. It looks like they do, so I'm hoping that this time I'm not fibbing. On one card I think I fibbed, but I think this one I put it on both of them. It seems like I did. You should have some circles and a clear circle. I don't know if you can see it. I tried to cut them so you could see part of something on there. This will just peel off, so you just have a reference that that's clear pieces here. This is our floating circle. You'll have a piece of DSP to be layered like this, and this we're going to chop together, and then this. But first we're going to stamp, because stamping is the fun part. So we're going to stamp, then we're going to chop, and then we're going to assemble. So let's stamp first. Oh, and you should have a beautiful bow. Now this ribbon is actually white with a silver edge, and all I did was take the Berry Burst alcohol blends, and I took the dark color and I just colored it so it could match my card. That's all I did. That's how I end up with things that match, because I'm a matchy person sometimes. And so, but we're going to start by doing some stamping. The first thing we're going to stamp is going to be our sentiment. I'm just going to set this over here. And my sentiment is hope. So I've got the word hope, and it is in the Unbounded Love suite here, hope. I'm leaving it just as hope on the card. I put nothing on the inside because sometimes I want to come back and put hope you're feeling better, have a blessed day, my heart goes out to you with sympathy. I don't know what I'm going to put inside there, so I tend to leave that blank. And but on this one you have to kind of choose that outer sentiment. Maybe it's a hello. Maybe you want this to be a hello card, and that's perfectly fine too. I'm just going to stamp it. And it's okay that it's down by the edge. Remember, we're going to put a bow on here, so that's going to be fine. Okay, let me put that off to the side. And the next thing we're going to do is we are going to make a 2-stamp flower. And I love this flower. It's on our envelope here, so you can see it. And it's 2 stamps. We are using the Shamrock, which is one of our new in colors. And I'm going to use it on the inside of my card. And again, I have everything crooked. I'm kind of silly that way. It makes sense to me. It doesn't always to everybody else. I'm also going to put this up the front of my envelope here. Now I have this thing I always stamp off on, otherwise my mats get so messy. So I'm just going to do this one off to the side a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to stamp a portion of this on the back here, right here. So that's all my green. And now I'm going to shut the green, and we are going to have fun trying to figure out the best way to put this next stamp on. So what I did is I kind of just take it and go, where do I want flowers? Where does it make sense to put, you know, dots of flowers? And let me just make sure I have the right stamp. To make sure I don't have the right stamp on there. Ah ha ha. That's why I'm glad I didn't stamp it first. I had pulled the filler one, and I don't want the filler one. Let me just throw that in there so I don't lose it. Let me pull, this is the one I want, so I can put the little itty bitty flowers on there. Oh my goodness. Well, at least you guys get to see how I think. So that fits on there pretty good. And because I've used this one before, you can see the pink. So I'm going to put that one on there, like that. Okay, so I'm going to start with my envelope, because that way I can perfect my, my way of doing this. So I'm going to put that there. And let's see, what did I do before? I did do it twice. So we're going to come in here like this. I think I turned it over. Well, I'm not going to play with that one anymore. I think I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to stamp right there. Like I said, there's really no right or wrong way to do this. You can kind of line them up. Sometimes they line up better than other times, but there we go. You get the idea. It's going to be just fine. So this top one here, I really feel this is correct right here. So I'm going to go like that. And I'm going to turn it over and do this part here. Well, I think I flipped it back. Either way, it works out. I haven't quite figured out how to marry this up perfectly, and I'm sure I will down the line figure it out. But, you know, who's going to know that wasn't the way it was supposed to be? That's my thinking. So we have done all our stamping. I'm going to take this and put it on the inside of my card for right now. I'm going to use my seal. Stamp and seal. I go through these like crazy. I'm going to put this on the inside of my card, leaving approximately 1/8 of an inch all the way around. That's a little crooked. And if it's hot, or if you haven't really pressed it down well, you can lift it up, and it will come up pretty well. Especially if you're in like the upper Midwest or something where it's always humid, you can always lift it up when it's humid out. And don't worry about that, because you're going to just cover it right back up. So there we go. Much better. Much better. I like that. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to crease this again just to make sure it's nice and good. I'm going to adhere this to this. That's that Z pattern. And there's no up or down to this. So again, just trying to get like that 1/4 inch, well, that 1/8 inch around as centered as you can. It doesn't have to be so perfect because you are covering up part of it. So that's always nice. And then this is going to go on the card right here. So I'm going to put this on so I just have less bits and stuff out and about. That's really all I'm doing here. Trying to make it so I have less bits while I'm putting together the other part. There we go. So this is just going to sit up here for a minute. And now we're going to put our hope over here. Now we're going to work on this circle. Before we do anything else, we're going to work on this circle. To make this circle look like it's floating like this, we have to cut our paper into strips. And you want to keep the strips so that the design continues down the way. So what I do is this. I'm going to bring in my cutter. First I have to clear it off. And let me make sure my cutter is where you can see the bottom of it. There we go. Okay, and I am just going to start with 1/2 inch strips, and I keep them in order. So these are 1/2 inch strips. 1, and I'm going to move it in 1/2 inch. I'm going to cut another one. Then we're going to go another one. We're just going to slice and dice this baby up. But it's important to keep the design in the same order. It comes into play when you are, it's sticking to my finger. There we go. When you are putting it on the window sheet. This one should be, you should end up with about 7 strips. Okay, so I'm going to keep these. I'm going to slide them off. Okay, so let's see if I can put my puzzle piece back together. This one goes with this one. Okay, this one doesn't go there. Oh, I messed it up. I messed it up. Well, we know these go together here. This doesn't go underneath there. So this goes on top of this. Okay. And this is how I figure it out. It's not really rocket science. It's just kind of crazy. I think this one goes on top of here. Yep, that's what I'm thinking. This one might be the bottom. It is. Okay. So now I have them back in order. Okay. I am going to take that there, and I am going to take my strip here, my circle. Hopefully you can see this. And this is important to use glue on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a strip of glue, and I'm just going to put it there. And I'm going to take my top one here, and I am going to adhere it all the way up to the top. And I'm just going to press it. Okay, that's all I'm doing. My next one, I'm actually going to put glue on the strip and not on here. And I just want a little bit in the middle. Okay, and I want to keep it so I've got some space in between, but that I'm also marrying up the design. So the design looks like it is continuous with a space in between, kind of like a lattice work. You're just going to hold that there for a second. And I'm trying to figure out if it would be better. Maybe it would show up a little bit better underneath my silicone mat. Let's try that. I want to make sure visually you can see what I'm doing. And I think you can. So here I have 2 strips on. Now I'm going to grab another one from the top because I'm doing them in the order of the design. Okay, a little bit of glue, and I'm going to put that on there like this and try to keep them as even as I can. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to be the best I can do. You probably only need 5 of these, or maybe 6 of these strips, but it's better to have more than, depending on your design. So here we go with this design here. Okay, and we really only need a little bit right here. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue here on my strip as best I can. And then I'm going to bring this in and slide it up over that glue till it's where it needs to be. Okay, so I want to slide that so See how I'm trying to marry up those designs? Okay. All right. So we're going to give that just a hot minute or two to just sit before we do anything else. We're going to bring back in our main card. I'm going to shut my glue for right now. And I have my other circles. So I'm going to put my green circle on here. There's nothing on this green circle, so you're just going to adhere this baby down. We're not popping it up. We're not doing anything to it. We're just putting it on. And you decide where it's going to be. I'm going to go a little bit more over here. And then what you want to do next is you want to start placing these. Okay? And you want this to kind of go on here just because it gives it a little bit more flavor. So let's see while our glue is drying if I manage to get the sticky stuff on this and if I can get the sticky stuff off. Somehow this one doesn't feel like it's got it on there. I know the green one has it for sure because I can see it. When I turn it over, I can see that I put it on there, but I may not have done the white ones. So, and if I haven't done the white one, I'm not going to sit and play with this for too long. I'm just going to glue it down. Yeah, I did not do the white one. That's my bad. So I'm just going to take a little bit of glue and I'm just going to, if you have a precision tip, that's always helpful. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here and there. It doesn't have to be like stuck down, you know, like it's going to go through a hurricane or anything. We just need it to be on there a little bit. You want it to kind of go over the green so the green looks like it's got something going to it. And then now let me see if I can get it off the green one. I was pretty sure I put it on both of them, but you know. See, when I put it on there, look how easy that comes up. So I must not have put it on the white because I should have been able to pull it up that easy. And then this one here is just going to go on top. And I like it to peek just a little bit over on the top there. This part's going to get covered up with other things, so it's okay that it looks a little bit, as I would say, sloppy, because I think it's okay. This one is going to get some dimensionals on it, and my dimensionals are right here. You can do 3, you can do 4. I'm just going to do 3. Now, I'm going to show you using the Take Your Pick tool. So there is a stylist end or pokey end. This comes in and out. This is one of the attachments. The other side's a spatula. And it just pops in like that. But you can take this and just poke in and lift, and it takes all of the backings off. And then they're all together, and then you can just push them off the end and into the dustbin, and you're good to go. So this one is going to go right about here. See what I mean by you're covering that up? It's okay. All right. So now the next thing we have to do is, this should be pretty dry. You're going to turn it over, and as best you can, you are going to cut out around this. Now you can try to do all the decals, you know, or you can just kind of make it smooth. It doesn't really matter. But you're just cutting off the excess. And if you can do some of the deckling, that is really going to make it look cohesive. But if you can't, it is perfectly fine not to have the deckling all on there. Nobody will know the difference except you. So, and if you have one of these adhesive sheets on there, this actually, grab my Take Your Pick tool, will come off. It's, I use transparency, things you used to print on for transparencies for an overhead. That's what I used to use for mine. And the window sheets from Stampin' Up! Are fabulous. They're very strong. I like to use those more for my cards that are a shaker card. because they're just stiffer, and I like that. And you know, as you can see, I'm just kind of going around and cutting this off. I'm not doing anything fabulous. I wish I was better at it, but I'm not. Let me get this out of the way and put this in the dustbin. Dustbin. Okay, now I have this beautiful design. I can decide if I want this to go here, which that to me looks like a pretty good spot for it. Okay, now here's the important part to know. This has been popped up. This part is going to be flat to this part, so you're going to need dimensionals over here. Okay, so just so you know that it's over on this side, you're going to come in with your dimensionals, and I'm leaving my fingers there for a reason, because I like to use a lot of dimensionals, and I kind of do one for each stripe, and this one down here, come off of there, will just fit right at the fattest point. So there we go. I've taken that off. Now I'm going to adhere it. I'm going to pull off my backings. Again, just poke and lift. Poke and lift. It's kind of a scoop in, scoop out. And look at that. They're all on there. And now I'm going to take this. I'm going to look where I want it again. Look where I want it, right in here. That looks pretty darn good right there. And I can go ahead and just push down on my dimensionals. Now underneath here, I'm going to just pop a little bit of glue, because I can. Just a dot, nothing much, just a little bit, just so it doesn't flap. Okay. And then again, we're going to put this on here. This part's going to get glue. This part will get a little bit of a dimension. So I put the dimension down by where it says hope. I'm going to put some glue. Well, let me do it this way. I've used glue already. Let's come in and let's use some, I'm just making sure I know where I'm at, a little bit of seal. There we go. And then this one's just going to go there. I'm going to peel this one off instead of poking it. This card is coming together so well. I just love it. Okay, right like this. Because remember, these two pieces are popped up. Now all I need to do is put on my bow. And to put on my bow, we always use a glue dot. And I kind of double them, and I'm going to stick one on here if it'll stay, and I'm going to get a second one, and right where I want this to go, I am going to put this on top, push down, and pull out. How cute is that? Now I'm going to just trim my bow and make it look fabulous, because we do fabulous cards. You guys do fabulous cards too. So there we have it. Isn't that cute? And it's just called a floating circle card. It's a little bit more time consuming. I would say this is stepped up. I didn't put any gems on here. You certainly could come in with some bling. It would be nice if you brought in these sequins maybe in here, but I felt this was busy enough for me, so I left it as is. But you certainly can amp it up more if you like. The inside looks like this, so you can write whatever you want. And you've got your beautiful, beautiful envelope to go with it. And you have one extra strip. I don't know what you want to do with this, but if you want to put it on something else, you're more than welcome to. But thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you watching my videos. If you could give it a like, I would appreciate that. If you can subscribe, that would be wonderful. You would always know when my videos come up. And if you want to share them with a friend, the more subscribers, the better, is my view. And if you have any questions, please leave me a message. I will be happy to respond to you in the messaging. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.